play a game.
Oh, it must be time to be live then. Hello to Mark B, Holy Trucker, Lord Vectron, Hugh Burke, and Racing Transport. I am, and Gav's Photography. I'm well. I've just spent 5 days working on our old house, getting it ready to sell. Even giving the old girl a spit shine takes a lot of effort. Anyway, what were we doing? What did you guys want to watch? I don't know. But I haven't been punching people, by the way. That's paint. Can you tell what color the deck is? Yeah. I need to find some things before we get too far into this. What's the best way to do this? Crewe to Milton Keynes, probably. Is that the right one? I think that's the right one. West Coast Main Line, Crewe to Milton Keynes. It is. Let's go to Nuneaton first, and we'll do the collectibles, and then we'll have a look at other stuff. Okay, Nuneaton. There it is. Boop. Who cares about the weather? Play. Hello, Taserface. Hello, Gav. No, I'm not selling myself. I don't think anybody would buy me, really. Hey, Andy Lad. I would like to say it's Andy Lad's fault. That's what I tell the missus anyway. All right, we are here at Nuneaton. Now, the first thing I'd like you to notice is that this route is optimized. What do I mean by that? There's a certain lack of detail. But anyway, we'll go and do stuff. First collectible will be in here in the ticket hall. There's a spud. There we go. 1 of 40 spuds wrapped. I went and found the collectibles at this place so I can show you. I don't know about blue textures on trains. I haven't experienced any, but on the PC, I very, very rarely do. But there's a train over there, in fact. We'll do the next collectible, which is down here, and the first amusing thing. So a nice little ramp here, right? So I can go up in the air, look. And it's a pity I can't get an external cam and see myself, because I'm floating on sunshine. Sorry, I won't do that again. Over here, there's some miscellaneous busted wheels. There we go. 1 of 40 wheel sets restored. I notice they have their own sound. Let's go. So we've got wheel sets, we've got a spud. Nuneaton's the only station I found with everything. That's why I'm doing this. Next is through the ticket hall and to the right. There's a rugby ball. There it is. That's a rugby ball. It's been inflated now. It still looks kind of odd, but, you know, that's it. And platform 2 we want. Okay, let's get into the working elevatrix.
Doors open. Lift going down.
We will look at the new 807, don't panic. Noisy bloody thing. Alright, here we go. Did that collect? There we go. There's an 807. Don't you just want to take it home with you? Well, you've collected it. Now you have to leave it there for someone to steal it. Probably him. Yeah, see, he saw the box and he goes, no one's watching that. I'll just sit down here, and when no one's watching, I'll just whip round the corner and I'll get that and I'll stick it down my pants, and people will think I'm happy to see them. Right, okay, what else have we got? Inside the pedestrian walkway. Okay, I made some notes. It's unusual, isn't it, me to make notes? Here we go. Boop. There we go. Brumfield. Okay. Now, up here, people wanted to know what are the cool things. There you go. It's a cool window. And round the corner here, there's a narrowboat in a bottle. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's a waste of RAM. Did I say that? No, I didn't say that. Okay, near the elevator, we've done that one. Inside the platform waiting room on platform 4, which I think is down here. There's another spud. Oh look, there's an optimized sign. Excellent. You'll notice a lot of optimized stuff now. It's very optimized until you get close to it. Right. There's supposed to be a spud in here. There it is. Boop, boop, boop. Yep. In the styrofoam box. How ecologically sound. Hang on. Let's do that again.
Your safety and comfort.
Look, the spud's in a styrofoam box.
How
dare you?
Couldn't resist. Anyway, that's it, I think. Now, I do have a question for you. If I go back up the stairs, I found a contraption, and I'm not sure what it is. I think it's in this stairwell. Yeah, there it is. What's this? What am I doing up here? Well, okay. Can I go through the door? No. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing up here. Let me go down this side. That side works better. Okay, now let me come up here. What is this thing? Is it an escape chute? Is it an esoteric bondage device? Does it make pizza? I don't know. It kind of looks really uncomfortable, whatever it is. Someone will know. Someone will know. Questionable Spuzz, says Hawks. Yes, I don't know what that thing is. I'm curious. Anyway, the next thing people asked for was the railfan spot, so let's go there. Why did I come out here again? I could have just used the map. Anyway, you're just getting off work. Guilty as charged, says Andy. Hello, Ian. Tuberk says cheap Temu cardboard version of a train. Could be. Holy Trucker says Paul, an idea for Dovetail. TSW7, a room where we can display model trains we find in collectibles. I did suggest that after Thomas. Train Explorer 90, hello. Some of the collectors seem to be really small and you could easily miss them. No kidding. Do you know how long it took me to find them? Anyway, back on foot again, and then we'll come back and we'll look at stuff. We want to go to... because I'm just going through the stuff people ask me for. Let's go there. And I should go and have a look at the post and make sure I've covered the other things. We will be looking at 807. We will be looking at services that jump between the two. Okay, Heaney's Farm. There we go. Here's our railfan spot. There's our dubious railfan. He looks more like a file of some kind to me. Look at his camera going into his leg. Can you sit on the bench? No. That's probably why he's not. You can, however, walk rather a long way. Pretty much anywhere you want. And you can go onto the train line. Well, while I just go find the post and check the other things that people wanted, we'll, because I looked before, but there's probably been some others. I'm in the right count. Dope. Okay. I can't see your guys' chat at the moment, just so you know. And posts, that's what we want. Posts. You can probably hear the sighing beast as well. Why can't I see the comments on this? There they are. Hectic Jojo wants to see what layers it's got, so we'll look at those. Railfan areas from Andy Ladd, so we've done that. As I wanted, if you've got time to see what services align with each other. Ooh, do I ever have some news there? Some news that I didn't know about. Holy Trucker says, make sure there's no red light bugs. Yeah, good luck finding that in a stream. Syke says, anything interesting on the line, a unique station geographical feature. This is more interesting than rural England. Okay. How many gig was it to download? It's a good question. Happens in the background. I can tell you how big it is on disk. Let me have a quick look. Steam library, apps, common, too many games, Train Sim World 6. Sorry, I just had a New Zealand moment. Content, DLCs. Trent Valley, it is 13.1 gig on disk. So it's probably that to download as well, because that's compressed. It's big. Very, very big. And it's very, very optimized. And that's an amazingly strong tree growing through the sign. But that's okay. Have we seen a train yet? This is one of the things I've noticed. All right, so we've seen some good stuff. And you notice there's some optimization on the sign. It's okay now. It's back to being optimized again. We haven't seen a train, have we? Hawk says rail fan or gunsel galore. Andy says mail or good shoot, perhaps. Maybe. Looks like a bag shoot for mail, says Gav. Holy Trucker says, must he be from the world that was an old door preserved? Could be. Yes. I wonder what it is. But anyway, we still haven't seen a train. So the West Coast Main Line, one of the busiest tracks in the country, right? But we haven't seen a train. How long should we wait, do you reckon? It's 10 o'clock in the morning, so the peak's kind of over. Let's ask him. Uh-oh, I'm on the wrong side. Did you just scratch the back of your head with a camera? Yeah, you. What are you doing? How long you been waiting for a train, mate? Do you know? No. You don't know, do you? It's been a while, I think. And we still haven't seen a train. It's very, very quiet. I'll make it a point here. Holy Trucker says, do you have the Just Trains route already now too? No, I don't. No, I've only had this one for a couple of days. I did actually want to play it more than I have. I've put about 4 in, maybe 5 hours into it. But because we're doing a partial renovation on our old house to sell it, I have not had time for gaming very much. Here's one. Here's a train. How long were we here? Nearly 5 minutes before we had a train. And they've all been replaced by rail buses, and they're too busy eating potatoes. Here's one. It's a 350. And it's not blurry. But I'll show you the 350/4 and the 807 in a moment, because, you know, you want to see them. But I'm just trying to make a point here that this is the busiest main line that's not Brighton Main Line in the country, if I'm not mistaken. And if I'm not mistaken, you'd be seeing a train, at least on the vaguely suburban area, every few minutes, wouldn't you? We'd say one. How long should I stay here? What do you reckon? Anyway, let's go and look at the services. I think I've made my point. Can't get back to the timetable from here, can we? No. I'm going to tease you. Going to look at the journeys. There is training for the 807 and for the 350/4. And interestingly, one of the trainings says, I'll teach you how to change ends, but then doesn't. So my tutorial should be live about now. They'll teach you how to change ends. All right. Journeys. Crewe to Monkey Nut Central. Experience the heart of the West Coast Main Line. Step into the role of a driver on the West Coast Main Line between Crewe and Milton Keynes. That's an interesting thing, you know. We don't really have guard mode in journeys. But anyway, first chapter, Class 807 Introduction. Trent Valley Wayfinding. Avanti's new Class 807s are currently undergoing test renting service. Drive a training run from Rugby to Stafford. Learning about the line en route. Now, it's just stuff you have to read. It doesn't talk to you, unfortunately. We can do the intro. London Euston to Liverpool Lime Street. So that's from Monkey Nuts to Crewe, calling it Crewe only. There's a lot of these one stops. So if you like the big, long, fast ones, you're going to love it. If you like a busy commuter, you'll half love it. And if you like freight, you might like it. Anyway, next journey chapter, we have rugby transfer, which is planned improvement works are underway near Lichfield. As a result, services are running as far as Tamworth. Tamworth is the country music capital of Australia. Start a southbound express to rugby and then stopping to Milton Keynes. It is evening, train chaser Angie. Hello, Mark Moss. Who always says hi, Mark Moss. Excellent. We've got some timetables. You're getting the idea that they're all long? Yep. They nearly all are. And then we've got some 350/4 stuff, which are even longer because they stop places. Shouldn't be surprising. Then we have rush hour rhythm, where they're even longer. Now, I have to say the scenarios, if you play the scenarios, the line's really busy in the scenarios. Just leave that hang there. So we've got 3 more scenarios in the last chapter. Into the Eye of the Storm. So your 350 from Stafford southbound, inspecting the line. I'll just say expect trampolines. Haven't played it, but that's what I expect. Snow Troubles, which I'm sure we've had a scenario called Snow Troubles before. Heavy snowfall is causing delays in Trent Valley line. Start a southbound Avanti West Coast from Stafford towards Monkey Nuts. Be aware of last-minute diversions. Yep. Polesworth Recovery. Bugger 350. Go get it, bring it back. And we've got some services. All right. People wanted to see the introduction, didn't we? We'll do that. We'll do that. West Coast Wake Up, 807, introduction. Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready? You want to see this thing? All right. Just for the record, this is T. And thanks to Andy Ladd, whose fault it very much is, I have booked a autocar drive.
In this tutorial, we'll cover how to set up the cab, drive the train,
Pickering to
change
Gromont,
cabins, and passenger door operations.
Goody.
You're currently at the navigation hub. Walk to the front of the train and sit in the driver's seat.
Ute in service. Looks pretty nice on the outside, I have to say. Do you want to see it inside? Of course you do. All right, up we get. And when you say they're all the same, Grumpy, not quite. Let's close the door. And it's no point in the training centre, so I'll do it anyway. Turn on SDO, but it doesn't do anything as far as I know. That one definitely doesn't, so I won't bother. AWS and TPWS, Vigilance and DSD. Now, you must turn on both of these switches, or TPWS won't do very much for you.
Please follow the instructions to set up the cab.
No.
Insert the master key. This
No.
unlocks the driving controls.
Nah, busy. You'll notice down here, we have got diesel controls. Don't let that confuse you. This is an electric-only machine. But it has controls for a diesel. There's another new thing in here, which probably won't work until I turn the train on. So let's turn the train on. Master
Put
key.
the reverser to the neutral position. This controls the turn the headlight switch to the full position. This will let
It's got the
buyers
usual
know
bug.
the train is
Whee! Goes all the way around. I like that bug. They've all got that bug. Wipers to 25. There we go.
Class 807 features a
Got contact signaler
power
over
brake
there.
controller, PBC.
Yes,
This
that's
controls
right.
how much power or brake
book
force
book.
is being applied to the train. The further away from off the PBC is, the greater amount of power or brake force will be applied. The train is now ready for service. Depart when ready for Station 1, where we will learn how to change cab ends and operate the passenger doors. All manual junctions will be set for you.
Goody. All right, let's go into forwards. All right, not reverse, forwards. There we go. Are you ready? Let's go outside so you can hear it.
grades, you can coast to maintain your speed, reducing energy consumption and stress on the motors. When coasting, always remain vigilant of the gradient, as changes could cause the train to speed up or slow down. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply braking force by moving the PBC into the braking range.
And then we go
We're
into the
approaching
cab where it's
station
almost
1.
completely
Begin
silent.
applying a small amount of braking force on the PBC.
She's not the quickest accelerator, it's about the same as the others. Stopping's okay. It's very, very quiet in the cab. I don't think... No, you can't open the windows on these ones. While I think potentially this level of quiet in the cab is prototypical, probably, I personally don't like it. I want it to be louder in the cab. And oddly, have you noticed that there's been more traffic in this training scenario than we saw on the line before? No. Trucker can't believe Dovetail dropping 2 premium prime routes in the space of 2 weeks. That's because they spent a whole lot of time fixing the game. Which is what everybody wanted them to do. Oh yeah, I was going to talk about optimization, wasn't I? Look at all of the text. It's all very optimized.
Please follow the instructions for changing cab ends. Then we will learn the passenger door operations.
Hello, Jockey. Hello, Bob. Put the PBC to max brake, which I can't do with my controller. I have to put there myself. Max brake. He's like Max Headroom's brother. That way. That'll look better. And take out the master key. What about tail lights? There we go. Tail lights. Or as another content creator calls them, lips. Don't know why. Just does. Alright. Shall we walk through the inside? It looks remarkably the same as all the other ones. You don't need to turn off the safety systems. That is being done correctly. See, looks remarkably similar to the others. Pretty much the same. While we're here, why don't we open some stuff up? No. There we go. That worked good. Oh yeah, because the doors are actually done by the driver in this one, aren't they? Forgot about that. It's the most boring guard mode, because the only thing you can control is your own door. The driver does everything else. Do you want me to run up the outside now? We've seen enough carriages, surely. They're all the same from here on out. Avon calling. Very optimized. It's good to see this level of optimization. Remember, you asked for it. You wanted the optimization. Gary Mathers. Ah, well done, sir. It does have guard mode, holy trucker. It's the most boring guard mode ever in this thing, because the driver does all the work. In the 350, yes, it does have guard mode. Works quite well, in fact. One of the good guard modes. All right, let's try not to fall through. Oh, too late. Okay. We'll turn our safety systems on again, because, you know, it'd be boring without them. Right. And sit in the chair. Boop. Master key again. Reverse it to neutral as somebody gets beaten up by the Birmingham person in the back there.
To open the passenger doors, use the passenger door controls.
Good book. Close the passenger doors. Really? Already? Okay. Door close.
To get used to the driving controls.
Now, like the other
circuit
ones,
of the loop
if you
and
trigger
stop back here.
AWS or overspeed or anything else, the lights you can barely tell they've lit up. They're a bit disappointing. DRA's visible, just. Put the reverser in forwards. Okay. And drive. Whee! I'll let it get up to a higher speed this time. And I'll keep staying silent so you can hear it.
The Class 807 electric multiple units consist of 10 7-car units built by Hitachi Rail in Kasado, Japan, with final assembly taking place in Newton Aycliffe, County Durham. Entering service on 26th October 2024, all units are operated by Avanti West Coast on express intercity services from London Euston to Birmingham, Liverpool and Blackpool on the
Yes,
West Coast Main Line,
$32.99.
supplementing
The
Class
rail
390
experience
and Euro
was
units.
$7.50.
The Class 807
Pounds.
units have a maximum speed of 125 miles per hour. However, you must adhere to the permissible speed, PS, and multiple unit, MU, speeds displayed on speed boards, and not the enhanced permitted speed, EPS, that are only for tilting trains.
Oh, good news. B works. It's not like the 90. I actually think this one sounds okay. It doesn't have that horrible choppiness that one of the other ones does. We're supposed to stop in 1.4 kilometers, aren't we? But we're around the far side, so it's fine. Do you want to see the route yet? We're supposed to stop here. We'll just go around again. It's all right. Or do we do an emergency brake? Anyway, that's enough of the training scenario. Let's go look at the route. I've teased you enough. I've teased you enough, haven't I? I'm such a prick. Anyway, West Coast Main Line is £32.99, probably about $65 for the Aussies would be my bet. The exchange rate is actually okay. Amy says, how's the AT300? Chocky says, waiting for a sale. Always good. All right, let's go into the route and have a bit of a look around. Where should we go? Where should we go? It is annoying that everybody calls it Trent Valley, but you have to say that one, Crewe to Milton Keynes. Doesn't say Trent Valley anywhere. Boring. The scenarios, no. Timetables. 2 timetables. The reduced timetable has the 390, 805, 807, and the 354. There's 402 services. So it's still fairly populous of these. I will show you something about these services, by the way, that's important, but we'll come back to that. And then if we have a look at the full timetable, oops, sorry. We have, on the full timetable, we have the cross-country. Hey, I want to scroll that. Oh, yeah, you can. Good. We have the 220 cross-country, never moves. The 390, the 37.7, which is the ROG. The 351, the 323. We have 66s, two different ones. The 150/2, the 350/2. It's the Transport for Wales 150, so it's the good one. We have the 153, also a good one. 350/3, class 158 EMT. Got the discrepancy there. 350/2 and 350-3. 805, 807, and the 350-4. So plenty to play with. What should we start with? Maybe this one. What do you think? We always need another 66, don't we? No. All right, let's go and look at... Let's do a little bit of a 354 and we'll come back to the 807 and drive it properly, because the 807 will take an hour. Oh, the important thing I wanted to show you. Hang on. We've got to get out of here. We've got to go here. West Coast Main Line South. Almost forgot. And if we go into London, Euston, Milton, Keynes... Or is it that one? Can't remember if it's that one or that one. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, the 807's turned up. And in the 807, we've got services like 1A10. I wrote some of these down. 1A10, 9G08, 1R02, etc. And if we come into the new route, because this is something people asked for, and it happened. And we come back in here, come back into the 807. Guess what? 1R07 was one of them. 1A10 is another one. I only got a bronze. People who are on my Discord saw my speeding on that one because I posted the line of the little speedos. 1A11 wasn't. 1A10 is not here. So there are ones that you can start at Euston and go to Crewe. And you can start at Crewe and go to Euston with the same service. So that's something a lot of people were asking for. I'm very pleased to be able to show you that. But let's get back to the 350. There are some 350 services like that as well. Let's get one that'll be in the daytime. How about this one? Northampton to Crewe, which is Rugby to Crewe. That's almost all the way. Isn't there a shorter one? I want a shorter one so I can show you the 807 on a long one. Because, you know, no short ones. All right, we'll do that one. That's fine. That's fine. It's all right. Crewe to Euston. Let's go. Let's get rid of this weather crap. And go. Driver. We won't run a whole 350 because, you know, after the first couple of stations, you get the idea. Getting back the chat. You have a derail on your local lines in New Zealand. Driver and Garden Hospital. That's terrible. Uberk says, well, in the end, I won't even have to upgrade my PC with all that optimization. Not sure if it's a positive or not. Well, there's plenty more optimization. Look at the text. The dials and everything have still been left nice and clean, which is good. I appreciate that. I will put up with the other optimization. I do kind of think that where we should have high-res textures is, in fact, in the cab. But that's not where we have them. Vigilance, DUSD, TPWS, and we don't need the other one for this. Bing.
And AWS operational.
That's right, you are. That side. A passenger's door has become stuck. What? A train fault already? God. Alright, let's go find... No, we need to... Doesn't need to do that yet. We need to close the doors first. We could look up there, but that would be cheating. So we won't look up there. We'll go and find it. Oh yeah, better set a DRA, hadn't I? Where is the DRA in this beast? There. Yep, you can tell that's lit up. Sure. Headlights. Headlights, headlights, headlights. There. Daylight. Tail lights off. Good. There is a dispatcher scenario, so it's kind of good. I do wonder how a derailment happens in New Zealand because, you know, they only run at about 40 kilometres an hour. It's not quick. Not by a long shot. Train crashed into a concrete barrier and folded up. Ooh, overrun a line. Sounds like a failure to stop to me. And it is that moment in the stream where I switch from tea to apple juice. Time to close the doors. And let's go and find that dead one, shall we? Because we have a train fault. And on this train, you can't rely on the things being lit up to tell you which carriage it is. You actually have to go and find it. Which is kind of annoying. And he doesn't want to see the route. It's more fun in the training centre. Where is this stuck door? I don't see a stuck door. Did you see a stuck door? Did I miss it? I've been here. How about that? That one's locked. 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 I'm going to have to use the monitor, aren't I?
The next train to arrive at
That one's locked.
10 terminates.
Did the fault clear itself, maybe? That one's locked. Oh, I'm confused now. Alright, let's look on the screen then. Door system 6. Aren't they all closed properly? They look like they're all closed properly. Oh, no. No, well. Let's see what happens. See if it lets me move. DR off. No, it really is a stuck door. Okay. That's sad, isn't it? Come on, neutral. Ah, so. Now you can go into neutral, right? Good. We're just going to have to go and open every, close every bloody door, aren't we? Yeah, it's not that one. Actually, I'll come back and I'll close them all. Not that one, because it'll tell us when the fault clears. Some trains you can use the orange light on the carriage to find them and it tells you which carriage it is, but this one they all stay on. It'll be the last one, won't it? What if it's one on the other side? Is that possible? There it is. Okay, good. It was the second last door. Fantastic. Right, back we go. Running late now. Never mind. There's a lady in shorts. Alright, let's get in here. Door. Close. Oh. Great. Off we go again. We got another fault. Yay! And I didn't do this deliberately, honest. It's going to be a second last one again, isn't it? It's got random faults. Oh, it must be just trains nearby. Oh, look, there it is. Okay, good. Back we go. Yes, it's going to be one of those runs, Andy. Mark, that sounds like it might have gone through a set of catch points. Right, let's see if we're allowed to leave this time. What do you reckon, train? Are we allowed to go? Can we? Please? Go on, say it's stuck again. Or we can buzz our guard. Yay, the brakes are coming off, we're allowed to move. Woohoo! Well, it's got suspension. We can't accelerate yet, if you're wondering. Then I can show you one of its other interesting things, because, you know, I like showing you stuff. There's a reason I'm coming in really close to this axle. The axle's not going round, by the way, which is always exciting. Oi! Bloody speed signs. Don't do it again. Be nice. Can you tell what I'm going to show you yet? Just look here. Look there. I'm going to hit this box, aren't I? We're almost ready for full fang. When I go full fang, watch the axle. See if it does it this time. Don't want to hit the 60 sign. Oh, we're okay. Alright, full bore. I don't think it's going to do it. Oh, that's annoying. What I've seen is this wheel actually leave the axle and come backwards a bit. But it didn't do it this time. Oh well. Never mind. At least in this one you can choose to have sound if you want to. Off we go to Stafford, 23 miles. Woo. 110. You'll be pleased to know it accelerates like a snail. This is because of the community's feedback. The 350s now accelerate and brake like snails. That's okay. Oh, look at that, I've done 35 miles. I'm so proud of myself. Chocky says the door was stuck and couldn't open, then closed every other door again. They're just broken. Mark says, when wifey read the story, she couldn't believe the timeline for any investigation, that you just had to talk to the driver. That can take months and months. And it was a Johnsonville line. The derailment is on YouTube. We'll have to go find it. Andy said I'd open all the doors and see which one doesn't open. We've just reached 85 miles an hour. Thank you, community feedback, for your assistance in making this train everything it needs to be. Holy Trucker has uninstalled all his German content to stop being tempted to buy German trains that he never drives. I'm pretty happy with the sound with both trains. We've almost hit the ton, 95. Hugh says some idiot could have had fun with the door on the other side. You never know. It's a little while to Stafford. We'll keep driving. Ian says take it back to the depot. Yes. And it was trolling me, absolutely. You know, random faults are just that, random. They do happen. Gab says it's Kieran trolling you. Could be. Confusion and delays, says Amy. Well, it makes me wonder who the fat controller is. Oh wait, it's probably me. Be the fat cunt, the fat cunt, the fat controller. Welcome along to the 60-odd people that are watching today. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far. If there's anything... Ooh, look, optimization. Look at the AWS panel. But anyway, if there's anything that you would like to see today, please let me know, and we will have a crack. I hope I'm not shouting at you. It is rather loud. Andy wants to place bets for a pantograph failure. That could happen. So I think it was... was it C that wanted to see what made it not rural England? Look. The B button works. Not like the 90. How late are we? It doesn't matter. Oh look, we've finally gotten over the speed limit. Yay! How long did that take? We'll find out soon. Holly Trucker says, where are the announcements? It does have announcements. We'll hear one soon when we're getting into Stafford in about 17 miles. A little bit of choppiness between the carriages. Oh, there it goes, there it goes. Whee! Did you see the wheel move on the axle? Naturally, I've reported that. I think we did hear announcements. We'll know soon. Chocky says, now we know why there's no trains at the train spotting place. The doors got stuck. Yep. It'd be funny if it did happen to AIs, wouldn't it? Andy says... Ubek says, glad you mentioned it. To paint that in your hands, I'd always would suggest a doctor's visit. Well, actually, I'll probably need a doctor's visit because I stabbed myself with an extremely rusty nail getting a piece of fence that I didn't want there down. So I probably will need to go and get a tetanus shot tomorrow. That'll be fun. Andy says, community really screwed the pooch with this one. Even though they had the train started, allowed a city, it still managed to get it changed. That would never happen. No, that couldn't happen. The community couldn't possibly be wrong but get their way anyway. Thank you, community. Yeah. Yes, it is definitely paint. Paint. It was actually really funny. We bought a mist tint can, which is where they've mixed the colours wrong, because it was like really cheap compared to most paints. And we thought, that looks pretty close to the colour we want, so we got it and we painted it, and the colour that was on the lid of the can, which should show you what colour the tint is, let's just say that was pretty close to the colour we wanted. But what we got was something that was purple, and when we went back the next day, it had dried almost pink. So we got another can and covered it up. Now it's the right colour. It's the colour we wanted. It is always a dangerous thing, though, painting a house that you're selling, because you never really know what attracts people. But we do know the old 2000s era colours that we painted the inside of the house are not what attracts people, so we're done some brights on the outside and neutrals on the inside. Ah, there's another aspect. Look in the stanchions. They have white bits in them, showing you all the faults. You don't see that terribly often, though, I'm pleased to say. I have to say that very carefully, Andy. I had a fight with a deck and lost. I do have bad eczema, Train Chaser, Andy, but it doesn't look like that. I'm allergic to air. Actually, a friend of mine from work went and had an allergy panel done. She had 32 samples. Discovered she's allergic to all of it. Every single one. Do I know what the cost will be in AUD? My guess would be about $65. Because it's £32.99. Our exchange rate's about 241 at the moment. Here's a 66. Whee! Brief interlude on our way to Stafford. I think we've seen, what, 3 trains so far? I reckon 3. Crazy Ninja, hello. There's a roadmap stream today. There is indeed. Later today there will be a roadmap stream. And the other route that people have been waiting for, the Just Trains Crewe, is coming out next week. Gav says we have drivers who drive this train. Indeed. We had real drivers say that it was about right. But no. No. That's okay. Just remember, look at the optimization we've got. Brilliant, isn't it? Look at that TPWS panel. Isn't it beautiful? Look at all of those things. I mean, you can read them. Optimization. The route's quite optimized too, if you haven't noticed. So if I pop out of here, thanks Vigilance, going off the second I come out. Is there much away from the tracks? No. The route has been optimized. There is plenty of foliage though. So we've still got lots of foliage. There is still some junk around the place. There are still canals. There is still water. So it hasn't been optimized to the point of oblivion. It still looks nice. In a lot of places, the grass textures are our old favourite super flat ones, which are now back. Yay, optimization. This is what we get. I've slowed down to 85 mile an hour, and I don't appear to be powering anymore. If I had a pantograph fault... There we go. Maybe I didn't answer Vigilance quickly enough at some point. Yeah, now it's powering. Lord Vectron says proof the community just grips and rips, whereas real-life drivers don't drive like maniacs. This is true. Chain Chaser Andy says a Ponk deck would be great. It did actually look quite good, I have to admit. It looked alright. It looked like my channel colours. That's not quite what you want for a deck, though. 6 miles to Stafford. We're nearly there. Yay! Gab wanted to know, did the deck win? Well, I won with the paint, myself and the kids and Wench. We all did lots of painting and window frames and stuff. I had to repair a couple of windowsills that had some wood damage. "6 miles to Stafford, I should probably start thinking about slowing down." We have the ballast over the tracks thing here, which I kind of hope they get rid of. Oh no, I'm going too fast! Don't tell anyone. Shh. Welcome along to the people who aren't in the chat today. If you've not watched one of my streams before, you are absolutely welcome to chat and ask to look at things. We will, if we possibly can. 115. Probably should start slowing down soon. We'll be nice. We'll go back to the speed limit. Ooh, flowers still grow as you pass them. We'll be back at 110 soon enough. Gav reckons it was Harry driving the 66. 62.99, says Train Chaser Andy. That would be possible. I'm guessing it's 65. Holy Trucker says, just trains this month, Tadami next month, then August Dovetail Direct, then TSW7. I'm not sure when Tadami's going to come out, to be honest. Hopefully, that would be good. Well, we're not actually moving anywhere, Hubert, because we moved 5 years ago. 6 years ago. We're finally getting rid of the old house. Still greens everywhere. Very thin gantries, yes. It's probably optimized. We'll gently start slowing down for Stafford. Tom, hello. Ian says on the PC, what button do you press for the static camera view? This one? 8. That is an 8. 1 camera, 2 camera, which can move around. 3 camera, which can move around. The other 3 camera. The other 2 camera. No 4s. And 8. Anybody else just see that car flying through the air? I better concentrate now, or I'm going to do a bad thing when we get into Stafford. And then we'll hear, bad boys, what you gonna do? As we're flying through the air, heading for orbit. I put an 807 into orbit yesterday. I wanted to see how fast it would go. It went really fast. I was impressed. We have the feather to go into the platform. It still brakes okay. So it hasn't lost all of its charm. Hornby says, Class 66 have a lot of different paint jobs. Yes, they do. Look out! It's a cross-country train that's actually moving! As it growls on by. See, brakes aren't horrible. So the community didn't completely win, they just made it not accelerate as fast. Oh, we played a scenario, didn't we? Those horrible coloured things came back. Anybody else hate that? That the horrible coloured things come back every time you play a training scenario? Look at all the people. 4.
For your safety, please be aware that some
Did it make an announcement as we came in? I wasn't listening.
This is Stafford. Welcome aboard.
Another 66. And a 350. How about that? So we've seen a few trains on this run. It's better than the other runs I've done. I think everyone got off. Is there anybody left? Oh yeah. There's one in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That'll do. There's a few people still there. When you get into Crewe, come under the shelter and look up there. You'll like it. So this is where the 350 driver goes, wish I was driving one of them. That looks like much more fun. I should have put on the DRA, shouldn't I? How naughty of me. We're not going anywhere just yet. Because we don't have a green signal just yet. I just realised that was me beeping. Please, sir. Can I have a green? Oh, of course, the Avanti thing just went through. There we go. No point going hard out of here.
Sorted.
Joshua, could you see the timetable? Yeah, we can do that. Joshua, hi. Hello, Flying Southerner. Holy Trucker wants people to run in VR. Train Chaser Andy said I was going insane with that car. No, it was, yeah, it was something. There is speculation that it wasn't flying, that the camera was inside the bridge. Certainly possible. Apple juice. Just saying. I just realised you may not have been able to hear me too well because my mic wasn't in the right place. Fix that. No point going up to 110. Rugeley is next. Looks like the Avanti's getting away from us, which is good. We can go up to speed now. It was a hologram, says Gav. Hornby Man says the game should add the police class 47 and 37. I would like that, actually. That would be cool. That's a good idea. Beep, 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 beep. If you've not seen the video, you should. Did someone ask about a tutorial? Fast Lawyer. There are tutorials on my channel for this train and the 807 and just about anything else you want. Have we seen an anti-train AI on this run yet? I'm not sure what you mean by an anti-train AI. Might need to explain that one. That was from Graham Williams. I'm not quite sure what you mean, mate. Gab saying JD was trolling you, saying no cross-country today. I will not book a cross-country train for my next holiday, just saying. I will go to get to York, down to London, and come back so I can avoid cross-country. 90 for the corner. I've seen a 390 and an 80X, probably a 7, could be a 5 though. 5s do run on the route. Ian says yes, an announcement was done. Holy Tracker says no. Gav said they knew I was driving. Could be. Wouldn't it be funny if I get in the little AEC railcar at North Yorkshire Moors, which I chose over a diesel and over a steam engine. I can drive diesels and steam engines on my railway, so I wanted to drive something that I can't drive on my railway. So I picked a railcar because I think it'll be fun. It's not as much fun as the one that I think Andy's going to do, which is a 101. That would be awesome fun, but I couldn't book one of those. Although they do actually have one on the North Yorkshire Moors. I thought about a railway that runs paces. There is one. I'm still thinking about that. Because they're cheap as. Rugeley Trent Valley coming up next. It's funny, isn't it? You pronounce that Rugeley, yet rugby's pronounced rugby, not Rugby. Double flashing yellow. Let's start behaving myself a little bit. Oh yeah, instrument lights would be good, wouldn't they? Have we caught up with an Avanti? Oh yeah, this thing. It's kind of cool. That's a seriously optimized line. I'm going to have to work on the dead spot in the middle of my TSCX because it's not quite right for this train. Tom, hello. Do you know if there are plans for multiple save slots? No, there aren't, and no autosave either. Wouldn't it be really cool if they did? But no, no plans, I'm afraid. It's the kind of thing you could go and hassle them about on the Discord if you wanted to. Andy wants to know, is it Irish or Scottish apple juice? It is Irish apple juice. Cheeseburger Nicky says apple juice, cane sugar and yeast. More barley, grains. Usually Trent Valley is our next stop as we roll through the rural countryside, punctuated by the occasional field full of heavily optimised octagonal tractor poo. Yes, I think the optimisation dial's been turned up to about 14, whereas at one point we took it down to about 3. I remember those high-res cows we used to have. Gone! I reckon they're even more low-res than they used to be, the low-res cows. Yay! Nah, we're going to roll into the station. We'll fix it in the station. Why are we talking about fireboxes and boilers? You don't want a firebox uncovered. Choco Smoke, hello. Chocky says, hire a donkey to ride to York. That could be quicker.
We are now approaching Route 6 westbound. Please mind the gap between the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
There we go. There's the announcements that Holy Trucker said we aren't getting. There is a steam-powered plane, or there was. The Bessemer Engine Corporation built one. There's a video of it. In fact, I've got a video of it.
For your safety, please be aware that some platforms at this station have no or only partial tactile paving on the platform edge.
Ooh. Only partial tactile paving. Blind people might fall off. Poor blind people. There we go. Doors open, and we better do something about that pantograph, hadn't we?
Welcome aboard this London
How do we fix pantographs on this thing?
Railway service to
Is it up there?
London Euston.
No.
The next stop will be Lichfield.
There'll be a way to do it somewhere. Door release? Do I have to do it on the thing, maybe? I think I probably have to do it on the thing. Uh-oh, no, just saw it. Just there. There it is. That would appear to be up. Does that mean I have power now? Back one's still up. There we go. It's ready to leave. Better leave then. I just noticed the name on this button. Hokfa. Sounds funny for no readily apparent reason. Alright, let's go.
Welcome aboard this London North Western Railway service to London Euston. We'll be calling at Lichfield, Trent Valley, Tamworth, Atherstone, Nuneaton.
Cheeseburger Nicky, there's no being dumb. Ask as many questions as you want. No such thing as a dumb question. Only questions that have not been asked. Need to hire a dog sled, says Andy. Yeah, that would be better than cross-country. And the Lion could have been naturally optimised, Hugh Burke. It's possible. Hornby Man loves the BR Green rail car. They do look quite nice. I'm quite partial to the 101, the 104 and the 107. I was looking forward to getting the 104 in the game, but then the people making that got sidetracked into doing something else. These bug me. Shadow pop-in's been not too bad, but they're annoying me. Little white patch. Oh no, we're going too fast. Whatever will we do? We're going to Lichfield, Trent Valley. I just realised how far behind the stream is. Wow. Holy Trucker, can't Dovetail introduce shader texture sizes throughout memory and RAM and TSW shadows are bold and dark, a lower texture could save the day? Potentially. It has been done in some other games. I know, for example, in Diesel Railcar Simulator, they did that in the last patch. For that very reason, in fact. Oh, I should be nice. We're only doing 20 mile over the speed limit. Here, look, I can make it better. That one. See? It's better now. Now we can accelerate again. Does this route have power changeover? No, it doesn't. Cheeseburger Nicky, all passengers out and start pushing. Good plan. That's what cross-country passengers have to do half the time. So there is some detail. Let's go up a bit higher, but it ends pretty close to the tracks. So we don't go terribly far. There's something coming, I think. We'll go back in the cab because it'll be fun to get past by that. We should get past on our right shortly. Where is it? Where is it? That's supposed to be catching up with me. Ah, well, we'll see it soon enough. Since I'm only doing 100 and it should be going faster. Shane Trash Andy said that nearly came along when I went on the VGR with 5 passenger cars and all the passenger cars were full. That used to happen at Puff. There it is. You can wave at the people. Smile and wave, Dave. Oh yeah, frame rate. My frame rate's locked at 60. I slowed down to let that thing pass me. And it's installed on a 1 in 40 grade. That'd be fun. Stall and divide time. No, the route does not have branding on the 350s. Holy Trucker, like none of the 350s have branding. What would make you think this one would? Gab says it's Andy's fault. Yep. Which one, though? Hornby says Thomas and Friends Daisy the rail car. I know a Daisy, but she's not a rail car. Spent some time with Daisy riding the rails last time round. Oh, look, an empty yard. Get used to that. One needs to know, did they start going around when the train goes past? Well, they are animated at least. Come on, sitting off. That'll do you. And is it play catch up? Holly Trucker says if this was running train, you would be out now. Well, yeah, we would have finished by now because each service takes 20 minutes. Cheeseburger Nicky says ain't side trekking for tyre downs. Well, if you want to have a flat tyre. Oddly enough, you can have a flat tyre on a train. Hands up if you knew trains have tyres. Because they do. Oh, should have stopped by now. Max break. Sorry, folks.
Platform. This is Lichfield Trent Valley. Welcome aboard London North Western Railway service to London Euston. The next stop will be Tamworth,
Atherstone, Nuneaton, Rugby, Milton Keynes Central, and London Euston. The train at platform 2 is the 0749 London North Western Railway service to London Euston, calling at Atherstone, Nuneaton.
It's going to be a while, isn't it?
Central and London Euston. Will passengers intending to travel on this service please join the train now, as it is ready to leave. Platform 2 for
The announcement took so long, we're going to be late. How far do you guys want me to take the 350 before we get an 807?
London Euston,
You guys can tell me.
which is ready to leave. For your safety and comfort, this
Off we go.
station operates a no smoking policy.
I do think it has a decent horn, but I think all the 350s do. Bob likes to see some first-gen EMUs in the game. We've got first-gen DMU, soon to be 2, but no first-gen EMU. It's just the 303, 305 and 308 later today. I'd like to see Woodhead. And given that we've got Peak Forest, that could become Woodhead. Just by sticking up some stanchions.
Please familiarize yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
Holy Trucker says, do you think they killed Metro Rivals because of Running Train? No, I doubt it. I don't have any idea why they killed Metro Rivals, but I doubt it was because of Running Train. They're too different. They wouldn't bother. Cheeseburger Nicky says, ladies don't like being called rail cars. Well, you never know. Annie and Clarabelle like being carriages. Actually, they don't. They're always grumpy, aren't they? Andy Led says, what am I being blamed for now? Do you know, I wonder, Andy, if I could get a headboard made up to put it on the front of the rail car that says, Andy's fault. That would be funny. Off we go to Tamworth. Place in central New South Wales, Australia, home of country music. Even Dolly Parton's been there. Train Chaser Andy says, flat spots on every steamroll consist is 10 out of 10. Yeah. Their brakes probably aren't quite as well serviced as they could be. It's difficult to do that across all of their fleet. They have a lot of fleet. Holy Trucker says, are there announcements happening on the stations too? We actually heard them both. Because I had the window open, Holy Trucker, we had 2 announcements at the same time. At the last station. Andy said, I'm used to being blamed for most things at home, Gav, so it's nothing new. In fairness, Andy pointed out a railcar run at Great Central Railway, which I do want to get to, because I haven't, and I've been meaning to. And I thought, what a great opportunity to go there, but then they were sold out. And they wouldn't even put on a special one for the Aussie. But that's okay, I'm sure North Yorkshire Moors will make good use of my money. You think I should get a t-shirt made? Andy Ladd is innocent. I like that idea. Holy Trucker says TSWVR failed because they Meta exclusive, save face, read that PCAO, Sam and Epic try to sell it. Meta paid for it. Welcome to Tamworth. Should we get out and find some collectibles this time? This is about the opposite approach to last time. Coming in a little too slow. Can't even blame chat. It's all quiet. It's all quiet in the Western Front. If you haven't and you don't mind doing it, please pop a thumbs up on the stream because it will help promote it. Coming that slow and still not breaking the right place. Doing well.
This is Tamworth. Welcome aboard London North Western Railway service to London Euston. The next stop will be Atherstone,
Nuneaton, Rugby, Milton Keynes Central, and London Euston.
Must be collectibles around somewhere. No. These are the anti-homeless benches. You just roll off them if you try and sleep on them. You could just about touch that transformer, couldn't you? Scary. I think even the people have been optimized. Keep off the track. Okay. I didn't see any collectibles on that side. Let's see what's on this side. We have a nice multi-story car park here. Roadmap should open later today. Spud. Strangely unoptimized. No balls, no trains anywhere. We can't go in there, I don't think. We're a bit bereft. Bereft of collectibles. There's 200 collectibles on this line. It's a big station, isn't it? We should probably go. No, don't want to give it up. Well, that was a waste of time. There was twos, one in the shelter and one on the seats. Oh well, I missed it. Off we go. Holy Trucker asks if you've seen the videos by top YouTubers, VR YouTubers all promoting Running Train because it's great in VR. They weren't much too expensive and the free release came with a route.
Rugby, Milton Keynes Central, and London Euro.
I think everybody's just jumping on the Running Train bandwagon.
Yourself with the safety messages
Because what the top gamers do is they go, "Ooh, this is a trending game. All these videos are doing well. That's doing very well. I better play that game." I don't like trains, but I'll play the game anyway. I'll pretend I like trains because I get views. Yep. What's that? McDonald's ice cream machines. Who knew, eh? So that's as high as we can get, I think. We'll stay up here for a little while so you can see the route. Gab says I did an image of Thomas with Andy Ladd causes delay and Andy Ladd is innocent, free him. Being naughty. I don't know, do drivers get fined if they're crossing between the tracks? Holy Trucker says I'm bored of Running Train now, I haven't touched it in a week. I think it will calm down. I predict it will calm down. I think it's already starting to show some signs of it, to be honest. And if you play it, enjoy it. I do think it's fun. I love its visuals. If we could have those visuals in TSW, I'd be a happy boy. We won't get them because this is UE4 and that's UE5. That reminds me, I need to make a follow-up video to my video because there's been a lot of very good information on that I need to get into an explanatory form so we can run through it. If you haven't read it, there's actually two really good posts, one from Matt and there's another one from Adam from Skyhook, each explaining some things in their different ways. We could leaf that. Take it or leaf it. An optimized field, of course. An abandoned platform, who would have thought it? It's got a shelter. Huh. Has it got a spud in it? Needs a spud. So this side's used. Polesworth. And that side's not. How interesting. I wouldn't have expected that. Yeah, we found one dismantled wheel set at the start. At Nuneaton, if you want to find one of those. It's near the end of Platform 1. Andy Latt says, I've seen Matt's comment. Don't think I've seen Adam's one yet. We'll go check it out. Interestingly, I've been told, I haven't gone to watch it, but I've been told that one of the YouTubers that has been known to make comments about me actually watched my video, read through the comments, and made a video based on Matt's comment, which I found vaguely amusing. Stealth watching. Wilberforce just joined. What are your initial thoughts on performance? Any game-breaking bugs? I haven't broken the game yet. I've showed a few things that are a bit interesting. It's very heavily optimized, as you can probably see. You can see in the stanchions here, for example. Watch near my mouse pointer. Works on controller. We have a very hyperly optimized dash. As you can see, it's a tad blurred, but the outside's not. The outside's fine. Oh, timing. I'm pleased that we picked this service, because it's had a few more trains than I've been used to in the last couple of days. Gab says they removed the bridge to make this line work, so stopped using the other platform. Yeah, fair enough. Chocky says, yeah, I did see that one. Andy says, I heard about that as well. I haven't actually watched it yet, but I will. Morning peak extras, you think? We're going to clear that. That must be awfully close to the train. Oh, yeah. Just, though. I reckon if you had a much bigger train, you'd clip that signal.
Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and push chairs.
Chocky says, I'm driving a train this game. I found a bridge that looked interesting. It become one of my favourite spots in real life. That's cool. I actually found one of the rail fan spots near Gatwick when I made a whole lot of videos of Brighton Main Line. I found it in the game and went, that'd be a cool spot. And it was. I flew in. I was staying at the airport because after you've been flying and travelling for nearly 40 hours, the only thing you really want to do is have a shower.
Platform
This is Atherstone. Welcome
Yay, it does become stuck.
Western Railway service to London Euston.
Let's go and see if there's one stuck shut. Could we be that lucky?
Rugby, Milton Keynes Central, and London Euston.
Could we be that lucky? Open, 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 open. Stuck. Yay. Football. Spud. I think the spuds should be closed when you find them and you open them and eat them. And it goes num num num. Spud. We fit well in this platform, don't we? Sorry about that, folks. Oh, look, it's got the platform door closing thing too. Only some of the cars have the doors open. Interesting. Can we go outside? Can go outside. Wow. How far can we go? There. Hello. Welcome to the game. Weird backpack lady. Now, is it a lady with a weird backpack or a weird backpack lady? That's what you've got to ask.
Please do not leave your luggage unattended.
It's Harry Potter with a haircut.
Luggage left unattended may be removed without warning or destroyed or damaged by the security services.
Destroyed or damaged. Or stolen. Hello, Amy, girlfriend of Flying Southerner.
Welcome aboard.
Holy Trucker said, if Just Train's route causes Dovetail to increase their prices, I'm out at Tiers W6. Just Train seem to want to cost the most. It's kind of up to them, I guess. If you want to influence prices, don't pay them.
Please familiarize yourself with the
That's the only way to influence prices. If you pay it, they go, well, we got away with that. We should chat offline, Flying Southerner. See if we can organise a meet somewhere. Andy Ladd says, is the PBC more positive with its positioning? Some of the other 350s are very fiddly to get into the off position. You end up with a slight acceleration or braking with it. Yes, the off is in a weird spot and it doesn't sit in the dead zone on my controller, which is annoying. Gav wants a spud. Oops, 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 too fast, too fast, too fast. Yes, they're very touchy. Very touchy. Wilberforce says there was new platform tactile paving. Good. Holy Trucker says, will do. Gav says, dear passengers, we'd like to inform you driver has gone spud hunting and watching Andy Ladd's new t-shirt. Sorry for the 3-hour convenience. It's Andy's fault. Flying something doesn't sound like a flying ping me message. Should do. Ah, well, that would be good. We should coax all the other halves to do that. And they can hang out with each other and have absolutely nothing in common and be terrified of each other. Slowly cursing us until the alcohol sets in and then they'll be fine. Optimized ships. I actually think they're lower resolution than they used to be. And they used to be pretty low. Andy says that the PBC has not been sorted then. No. It's a bummer, isn't it? Bob's Modelling Mayhem says, I've heard that Nuneaton is a good place for freight, so I'm wondering about what the AI is like for freight there. I saw 2 freight trains when I was working out where the collectibles were in Nuneaton, so yeah, it could be. Andy says, as Shaggy said, it wasn't me. And then Scooby goes, well, it was. That hurt. That really hurt. Don't do Scooby voices. No more Scooby voices. Ian says, I didn't know North Yorkshire Moor did experience events. I'm just up the rail tracks from them. They do. They're not cheap. They do a light engine steam, light engine diesel. I wasn't particularly interested in either of those because I do drive. I'm officially a fireman on my railway, but I do drive. So steam and diesel I can play with pretty much whenever I want. But the rail car is an unusual opportunity, and it's actually a good driver experience because you drive it from either Pickering to Gromont or Gromont to Pickering. So there's 2 people in the rail car, you and someone else, and one of you drives it one direction, the other one drives it in the other direction. I was joking with my missus that I should book her in as the second person.
We are now approaching.
And then just sit there and go, you have to drive it now.
Please mind the gap between the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
And while I think it would be worth it for the joke, yeah, there's probably better things I can spend that money on a holiday, to be honest. Bob says, I'm sure it isn't Zoiks. Could be Zoiks. Suddenly said, there's one thing Amy likes, it's turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Ah, look, another train fault. Love it. It's alright, we'll stop here and we'll fix the pantograph.
Please be aware
It'll be
that
fine.
thieves operate at this station and across the railway network.
Please be aware that Romanian gypsies operate at this station. I should probably stop before this signal, really, shouldn't I? There we go. Nice. I'll take that one. Oh, we've got a door as well. Brilliant. Let's do the pantograph first.
The next stop will be Rugby.
All right, that one's done. Now we've got to do doors.
Houston. The train at platform 5 is the 0811 London Northwestern Railway.
Let's go and check out the doors. There's nothing different inside these, but I'll run through while we look for doors. Actually, no, I won't. It'll take too long. There it is. Boop. Oh no, I left the door open. The miscreants will get in. Sorry, miscreants. You have to stay out there. The train is ready to leave. I did ask you guys how far you want to go in the 350, but since there's been no answer, I just kept going. We have time to do both. Rugby, next stop. Where grown men bend over in front of each other and clutch their balls. There's a freight. What's that sitting in there? Look at that. That's a 790. You meant the song by Shaggy. No, Scooby-Doo's more fun. Scooby Snacks? Chocky just installed announcement mod for East Coastway and you have real announcements playing. That's cool. And he says that was for Paul so he doesn't destroy his always try to do Scooby again. I'm not doing Scooby again. Oh wait, I just did. Off to Rugby. Bit more detail around the place around here. Pleased to say it's not as heavily optimized as some of the other spots, which is grand. Frame rate's still fine. What's relatively funny about going to North Yorkshire Moors is I'll be in York, go down to Chatham, and then back to North Yorkshire Moors. At least I managed to show Wench the power of the rail card. Because I showed her without the rail card and it was like £400, and with the rail card it's like 120. Because we have a two together rail card. Because funnily enough, we'll be going everywhere together, mostly. I am getting all the faults, Andy lad. Flying Southerner says she prefers the sea animal variety. Right? Holy Trucker, get them to add a room in TSW to house our collectibles and train models. A good thing, a fishing game like that give you a virtual cabin with your catches on the wall. Well, you know, in Wonders of Sodor, your collectibles do end up in a shop. So you go to the trouble of collecting them, and the Fat Controller steals them from you and sells them. Because he's the fat cunt, the fat cunt, the Fat Controller. I do think it's kind of funny that in America he's not called the Fat Controller. It's just called the Topham Hat. When I saw Thomas in America and I saw a Ringo Starr episode where the voiceover had been blanked out and you listen to Ringo and then it says Sir Topham Hat in a different voice. Everywhere he says Fat Controller. It's very sad. Because he is the Fat Controller. There's a train there somewhere. Ian thinks this train needs a trip to the depot for a major fix. It's a bit of a sad train. Anybody think it was for cross-country? Oh, hang on. No, cross-country would have put it out to pasture. Chucky says, I'm still baffled by the fact they added TSRs, but they're just random restrictions with no scenery or difference at all. Yeah. It would be nice if there was actually some work going on, but not all TSRs have work. We have ones on our railway where a fault's been spotted, but it's not bad enough to stop trains, and it waits its turn for a fix because it's not that critical, but they put a speed limit on it. The worst one of those, when you're driving, is when you're travelling down a 1 in 30 gradient, and you have to maintain 5 miles an hour across the speed limit. Do you have any idea how hard that is? Trains don't like going down steep hills at 5 miles an hour. They want to go fast. Bing! Bob said, I reckon we're going to have the Class 70 in the next 2 weeks. Trent Valley is almost out. Well, Trent Valley tomorrow. And after that will be the Just Trains route. I've heard nothing about the 70. I could go look on the release calendar, but I don't do that because I don't want to know. Because I can't speculate if I know. So I don't ever go and look at it. I also can't leak anything because I don't know. There's another 66. I think I accidentally picked one of the best services in the game. So if you want to play this one, 1U20. That's a bloody awesome service for other trains. I like it. Had a landslide some point, you reckon? Looks like what railways do when they've had a landslide. It's covered all in rocks. Holy Trucker reckons the Class 70 is kind of ugly, but it sounds good. The game one bit of sound is good. It's a very throbby machine, the Class 70. I have had the privilege of enjoying one in real life. Burke says many TSRs such a bad joint, etc. A couple of marking signs. The TSRs are fine by me. Yeah, real ones often are like that. On the Heritage Railway I'm on, I put a 5 miles an hour speed limit on a curve with some worn track. And it was there for nearly 3 years, and it became the running joke. This is Paul's Corner. Anybody trained in that time frame probably knows it as Paul's Corner now. They probably don't know it by its real name, which is Landslide. Hello Trucker says, what's the other unit that runs on this route? Too modern with big bulging headlights and the front kind of ugly too. There's a few that the game hasn't got licenses for. Andy says, we wanted a room for storing all the collectibles, and the perfect place to have it would be the training centre, as everybody gets that even with the free version. Gratuitous bridge shot. And boats of faffing. Ooh, that building's in a bit of trouble. It's a bit flooded. Just a little bit. My chair's managed to get into a divot in the carpet. It doesn't want to move. I should buy a new mat. This is probably wrecking the carpet. Placed by another Avanti. Rugby, next stop. We've got Rugby and then Milton Keynes, Monkey Nut Central. Today's stream is brought to you by the machine that goes. There is indeed another dispatcher scenario on this route, Holy Trucker. Chucky says this route is really tempting. It's really long. It's really, really long. I just think they missed an opportunity because they made this 108 miles and they should have made it 106. Because then we could do a Blues Brothers joke. Yep, it's gone yellow. Holy Trucker agrees that this collectibles could be a display centre, but like a big heap. Holy Trucker, see, I've been saving 20 a week is my TSW fund just for TSW DLCs. There's a few. That's going to get worse too with all of the third parties. It's just going to get hectic. Chucky says, I'm off to go and eat. Don't know if you'll still be here when I'm back. Well, we've got to drive back the other way in an 807. So yeah, I think we will be. We'll have a quick look at the timetables before we drive back. And then we'll cruise along. Pick up a little bit more speed. We'll ride the yellows, hopefully. Bob says once they've done the patch for the Class 90, whenever that will be released, I think the passenger version ought to include the Pretendolino for the West Coast Main Line. Well, we shall see what happens with that. Ian says, I think I'll wait for a sale. Would be waiting too long if I said waiting for any bug fixes. I've seen some visual things in it. I haven't had anything actually break as yet. I'm not saying there's nothing. I just haven't experienced anything. But like I said, I've only put about 5 hours into it. And normally I would have played a new one a lot more than that when I have my reveal stream. But circumstances prevent that this weekend. And he said, I'm getting this route, but I'm technically not paying for it. My son is getting it for me as an early Father's Day present. That's nice. Just keep rolling towards the red and I'll try not to screw it up. Gav says today TSW80's AWS is going to take your money. Wants to. Look at us wiggling like a pacer. It was a weird noise it just made, wasn't it? It was a very weird noise. Train Explorer, is it correct you can drive a timetable London Euston, Milton Keynes and route hop and carry on the train to Crewe? It is. In both the 807 and the 805, and I'm told there's some 350 ones, but I haven't gone looking for them. But yeah, there definitely are. There's alignment between some of the services. I can let out that now that we're at this point, that British Ace was gushing on the internal Discord about how he's just managed to do that. It made him very happy. Holy Trucker says, I used to collect all routes. Now I just collect UK stuff. I like UK, I think, because many different liveries and units. German is all the same red and boring rolling stock resold to us all the time. What are we waiting for? Ah, we're waiting for you. All right. And it's just leaving, so that's good. We should be able to move soon then. Pretty Chase, there you are. Timing. I mentioned your name and you turn up. I was just saying that you were quite gushing that you've managed to drive a service all the way through from Euston to Crewe, or the other way around, whichever it was. We're just waiting for this signal to clear. Cadert Alien? Alien? Don't know. What's your opinion about Running Train? I quite like it. Its visuals are stunning. I think people will tire of the lack of services, but if you're up for a challenge of trying to be perfect, then yeah, it's probably a good game for people. It's cheap as too. It's also by a small indie developer, which is always good. I like supporting small indie developers. Not a red light bug, Holy Trucker. We were waiting for an actual train. Bob says the Pretendolino was a Class 90 with some Mark 3s or Mark 4s and a DVT they were used where a 390 wasn't available for those who are not aware. British Ace said, oh, weirdly the 350/4 doesn't line up with West Coast Mainline South, runs different services. I hadn't looked at the 350. I was told there are some that do work. It's mainly the 805 and the 807, I think. As we roll into Rugby.
We are now approaching Rugby. Please mind the gap when leaving the train. and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
I remember those light towers from Hornby Railways. There you go. Got the hiccups. Lionel, the autistic inflatable fan. Hello there. How are you? That is such a weird noise that it makes. It's like... Whew. You can stop now.
This is rugby.
Oh, that door has become stuck. Brilliant.
Railway service to
Brilliant.
Euston. The next stop will be Milton Keynes.
For your safety, please
We've
be
had
aware that
all
some
the
platforms
faults.
at the station have no or only partial tactile paving on the platform edge. Once the train arrives, please mind the step from the platform onto
It's Andy's fault. That'd be your job, wouldn't it, British Host, to go and find a stuck door, or would the driver do it? Lock the doors, let's go. And we have a feather, so I better not go too hard. Off we go to Monkey Nut Central, Milton Keynes. British Ace says the 805 and the 390, West Coast Mainline South, I must have with this. Sounds good. We should have an actual modern version. You guys tried the West Coast Preston Carlisle modernised timetable.
We'll be calling at Milton Keynes Central.
I think I did. Didn't I stream it a while ago? Thought I did.
Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
Blue Jay Lumi only just joined the stream and saw you're 13 minutes late. How did that happen? Oh, 10,000 stuck doors and pantographs. It's been almost every station this trip. That and I left late. A very faulty 350 indeed. "31 miles to Monkey Nut Central. That will take a little while." The depot will have fun, Blue Jay Yumi, although it'll probably be like what usually happens. The driver writes down all the faults dutifully and carefully, and the depot go, "No fault found, send it out." This is normal. Ian says, not had a wiper fault, probably because they're not being used. Well, yes. That's true. Holy Trucker says that can't be right. Says we're going 2 hours already, Paul. How? Yeah, it is 2 hours. Next we've got to run back. But we'll do it faster. Natella Pick 2733. Are there temporary slowdown boards available on this route like in Medway in Riviera? There are indeed. We've had some of those too. Andy Ladd says, has this DLC brought the ridiculous amount of faults back into the game we had when TSW6 first came out? Not seen this many faults for a long time, to be honest with you. Who knows? Maybe it's overactive. No, neutral zone, but the train's taking care of it by itself. Although at some point I will have to go to off and back on again. When you go through a neutral zone, you'll see the percentage power meter go down to 0. And you have to go to off and then power again. I should have put that in my tutorial, really. I forgot that. I'm going to close the window. It's a bit loud. Ah, peace. That's better. I won't go deaf driving a train simulator. 28 miles to Milton Keynes. The place where you stop on the way to somewhere else because you don't want to stay there. This is where I discover 73 of the people in my stream live in Milton Keynes and they all leave. Don't laugh. Because on my railway, and I've mentioned this story before, but might be some new people tonight. On my railway, I did chatting to a girl from the UK, and I said I'd just come back from the UK when she was chatting away, and she was an engineering student, wanted to look in the cab at a loco, so I let her in, showed her around. And she go, what do you think of the UK? Was there anywhere that you really liked? And I said, yeah, there's a few places, went through a few places. And she said, was there anywhere you didn't like? And I said, yeah, Swindon. I didn't really feel safe walking around Swindon. She goes, what? From Swindon? Yeah, that'd be right. Life. Nothing wrong with neutral zones, holy trucker. Owen Woolnow says, that's very true. I would only use Milton Keynes Central to change off a train from Berkhamsted and then go to either Manchester or Liverpool. Both fine places to go. Out of the two, in Manchester and Liverpool, I think my favourite would have been Manchester. But I think that's probably coloured by the fact that I spent a few days in Manchester with some really good friends of mine, and that, you know, makes it more memorable and more happy memories than going to Liverpool where I didn't really know anybody. So that changes your experience of things a bit. That, and I got to drive a narrowboat in Liverpool. Not in Liverpool, in Manchester, sorry. That was fun. Train Explorer saying you might arrive late. 20 miles, only 5 minutes to get there. Yes, I probably will. We could go for some spirited running, but it only does about 115 mile an hour in spirited running. Doesn't go very quick. Why did we get an AWS alert for a green signal then? What was that signal? There it is. We got an alert for this signal. KR3326. Write that down. So if you ever are on a heritage railway, always come and introduce yourself to the engine crew if you're interested in trains. Go and have a chat. You won't always get into the cab, but quite often you'll get into the cab for a look around. You may even get offered a ride, so always introduce yourself to the engine crew and go, I like trains. Just don't be annoying to them, because that's the surest way to not go anywhere. Modern caravans? 1800s caravans. Holy Trucker says, where is the tunnel with the hole in the top based at? I know the one you're talking of, but I have to confess I don't actually know. What a terrible ambassador. You'd think I'd find that out. It could be on the map listed as tunnel with a hole in it. Andy says, I live just north of Milton Keynes and I'll only go there for the shopping centre when I have to. I understand. Owen Woolnow says, Train Explorer says where the 354 turns into a Concorde. But then it might explode. It could become like Challenger. Yes, we are running a little bit late. It's because we've been hunting for spuds. We've had every fault in the book. We've had blurry dashboards, like now. And that's not blurry. That's a good sign. What's the outside doing? Nah, the outside's good. 19 miles to Monkey Nut Central. And yes, I was born and raised in Liverpool, so I prefer them out of the two places. Fair enough. Liverpool is 10 minutes from me on the train in Birkenhead. Which train did I come in on? Merseyrail, I think, under the river? I think it was Merseyrail. I came in from Wales. That was fun. I did like wandering around doing the Beatles tour, the walking tour. And the, was it the Queen Anne 2, I think, was there when I was there last? So there was a big party for that on the dockside. It was kind of fun to go down and watch people down there. A couple of cool museums there. I went to the big Ferris wheel down near the waterfront, and it was fairly late in the evening and it was very cold, surprisingly, because everywhere else in England had been really hot. And I was about the only one around, and they said, do you want to just go up the top and sit there for a while? I was like, yeah, all right. Bob says 1900s caravans. The house version of narrowboats first started floating around the 1960s. Was all workboats and butties, the unpowered version before then. They're still around. There's still a few workboats, not a lot. But there's some that deliver fuel and coal and stuff like that to the other ones. Look up in the tunnels. You want to see through the top. There you go, look up. You know I'd do that. Wilberforce, Merseyrail from Manchester. Sounds about right. Uberk says it is a very optimized route. It is. It is indeed. Uh-oh, we're doing spirited running. Let's drop back to P2 then. It's a noisy thing, isn't it? Little jerk in the sound. What did I just see? What did I just see? Oh, it's a light pole. Okay. I thought that was something else. Blue Jay Yumi, I just get to try this on the Series S tomorrow. Will be interesting. Yeah, let me know how you go. I'll try it on the Xbox X after it launches as well. I can't before it launches because the build doesn't actually work on the Xbox until launch day. Same with the PlayStation build. They just have a placeholder until launch day. Then the real one comes. Wilberforce says, what year were you in Liverpool last? 50X still running on 777s. I was in Liverpool last year. I think we'll keep going with the spirited running. It's been working for us so far. Let's see how fast this thing goes. Why not? I'll try and recover a bit of time. We were meant to be there 3 minutes ago. All the people in the back will be going... Actually, no, they won't. They'll just be sitting there, stoically. Little footbridge from nowhere to nowhere. Ooh, the lodding on those stairs. Blue Jay says, I'm always poking on the DTG Discord and Train Sim Community Discord, so my experience will always be put there. Excellent. Please always do that. Use your voice, make it loud and clear. It's an interesting bit of trackage coming down here. It's always worth making your opinions known on the Discords and other places. I strongly encourage people to do that because the voice of change is the voice that actually says something. The voice of silently putting up with it is the voice that doesn't say anything. Ooh, we've got up to 115. Can we get to 120? I have my doubts. I keep worrying. The track monitor worries me too. Oh no, they're gone. Andy says they'll all be doom scrolling. They won't even notice if they are late yet. Yeah, that's true. If their phone coverage is good enough. I always feel vaguely disappointed if I try to use my phone and it doesn't work. And someone next to me, their phone's working fine, and I'm thinking, are you special? Why aren't I special? I want to be special too. Rail singing be a thing, apparently. We are eating through the miles in this last bit. We are indeed still in the 350 Jockey Transport. We have not yet moved to the 807 to drive back. That will be quicker at least, because there's not as many stops. Blue Jay Lumi says also convenient that Preston Crewe isn't far from release 2, and I turn 22 in a month. It lines up. Ah, happy birthday. Monkey Nuts is approaching, only 6 miles out now. Wilberforce says, I'm calling it now. JT Crewe Preston will be out next Tuesday as there is a JT Puvru Steam on Thursday. Oh, that would be a pretty safe bet, I think. It usually is the Tuesday after the Thursday preview. I can't sit here and go, yes, it's absolutely then. But, you know, it's a pretty safe bet, isn't it? Can I teach you how to use the cruise control on the 807? Sure. It's actually in the tutorial that went live 15 minutes after we started the stream. But yes, I'll show you. And it's not a cruise control, it's only a speed limiter. It does not slow down. When I recorded my tutorial, I actually wasn't sure whether it did or not. So I kind of hedged my bets. But I have since learned that it does not slow you down. Another closed platform. We do appear to be limited to 115, so we don't seem to be able to go over that. And we should probably think about letting gravity have its way anyway. Maybe not. Maybe not. Andy says, I've always found the onboard Wi-Fi on these to be fairly decent, at least on the stretch from Northampton to Euston it is. That's good. I've always had mixed success with onboard Wi-Fi on trains. Some of them work really well, some don't work at all. It's like on planes. When you have Wi-Fi on the plane and you join the plane and your device goes, oh, I can upload all my photos now, and you go, no, don't do that. It's such a low bandwidth connection, we'll all die. And then the whole plane load of people just want to beat you up. Got a 50 coming up, so I should actually behave myself. Was there a magnet on that track? Not sure. We'll have to go back and have a look. Blue J Lumi also referring to the comment of making my voice heard. That's why I've started doing it for a bit now for reasons. No, good. Please do. Absolutely do. The Grand Autismo. What is the history of calling Milton Keynes monkey nuts? I just do. There's no real reason for it. Aussies tend to come up with stupid names for places. It's just what we do.
We are now approaching Milton Keynes Central. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
And do you know why they tell you to do that? Because if the platform's lower and you put your bag down, you don't let go, you go over the top of it. I've seen this happen. It was really funny. Blue Jay Yumi trying to push for better optimization. Well, I think we've got it. This route has been optimized a lot. It's a problem with having a big button that you have to press really hard. Sometimes you forget. It's so weird, that noise it makes right just before you stop. A passenger door has become stuck. Brilliant. All right, let's whack on the DRA. Put that into max brake. Put ourselves into neutral and go and find this door. It's the last one for the stream. There it is. It's always that one. Not really. Jump back in and lock the doors and see how we did, and then it'll be time to take an 807 back again. We'll have a look at the timetables. In the middle, oh, another one. Will it end the scenario, or can I just ignore it? Surely I can just ignore it. Yep, I can just ignore it. Let's speed it. Poor stop accuracy. No wonder I score so low in running train. All right, let's have a look at the timetables. Wilberforce said we need a 730 for Cross City and a 730/2 for this route, and MKC Euston, Milton Keynes Euston. A Saints fan, I think this could be the best route in TSW. So timetable wise for the 350, there is quite a few. They're all quite long services. Was that the one we just did? That one? That was actually a really good one. We saw a lot of trains. We were passed by trains and we saw trains going the other way quite a lot. So I enjoyed that one. Some of the others are a little emptier. But let's go look at the 807 timetable, because we want to do that anyway, and we'll go the other way. So we'll go from Milton Keynes. So we want from Euston, don't we? Euston to Birmingham New Street. That only goes to Rugby. Liverpool Lime Street, that goes to Crewe. Milton Keynes to Crewe. There we go. We'll take that one. Actually, let's have some snow. Why not some snow? Seems fair. It is electric only indeed. It has diesel buttons, but no diesel engines. And how many door faults is that now? It was a lot. All right, then. Ah, snow. All right, let's get her going. And let's just put it in neutral for the moment and get doors open on the right-hand side by the looks of it. We want headlights. And we're going to want wipers. And we're going to turn on our safeties. We only want hours, TP Wus, Vigilance, and Duster.
TPWS and AWS operational.
What else do we need to do? Anything? Oh yeah, speed thing. Don't know if I can do it in neutral, actually. Let me put it in forwards. And take that off. And what are we allowed to do? 115. Now, if you click into the screen, if you've got that turned on, it's easy to click on this, but you'll find that it can actually be quite hard to click in the right place. It's just above the H. It seems to work most of the time. So let's just do that again. You know, that one seems to be working fine, but it can be quite hard to do it, so be persistent. So we want 100 plus 5 plus 5, whoops, not plus 1, twit, plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, and we go confirm, and then we go on. There we go. And now when we drive, it will only do 115. Look how optimized it is. Look how optimized the signs are. They're very optimized. Okay, let's get out of here. Wonder how well it copes with slip. That must be an 805 going the other way, because the 805s have that choppy sound between the carriages. The 807s don't seem to. Oh, there's no collision on the overhead. Yes. You can just put your face right through it. So I've got no snow on the top of the train or on the windows. Interesting. What about on the front? Any snow? A little bit on the nose. Not much. We've got snow trails. Oh, it's got the pantograph light, doesn't it? Look at that. Off we go to Crewe. Oh, we're only allowed to do 100. So you do 100. Confirm, and that's all you got to do. It'll just work. And if I leave this screen just to show you what it's like getting in here when you're trying to use it when the train's moving, it can be quite hard to find. Oh, I just went straight in, but it can be quite hard to actually find the right spot. So once you're in that screen, I'd leave it there if I were you. And 115 again, so we go plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, confirm, and we should start accelerating again. There we go. 99 miles to Crewe. It won't be nearly as long as the 350 was, though. Uberk says you can still see this text on the signs. You can do better. Yes, we could just make a yellow square. That would be good. The trouble is someone would make that with a 12K texture. Just remember, this is what the community's been asking for. They want more optimization, and I have been alluding for the better part of a year that this is what more optimization means. Less crisp, less visually attractive. but it will help our console brothers actually be able to play, which is very important. Wow, the shadow popping's a bit shit with the snow trees. Not enjoying that at all. The red looks nice in the snow. It works. Not like the 90. If people have been leaving comments on videos in the last 5 or 6 days on my channel, I haven't been responding to everybody. I will. I always like to. It's just been flat chat. Last few days, there's been so much happening. Very grateful for the family for coming to spend time on the old house as well, getting it ready for sale. We've all put in a lot of effort. There's been no whinging or moaning. We've all just gone up there every day and gotten on with it. And it's a good hour's drive away from where we live now, so... She's nearly ready. We've got to do a bit of work inside. We've got a lady coming on Wednesday to put some furniture in it to make it look lived in, and to stage it and present it. So I've got to get the interior painting for those rooms done before then, so I've got to take another day off work tomorrow, which my boss probably won't like very much, but he's in Turkey, so he won't find out. Oh wait, he actually watches my streams. Hi boss. He's probably watching my boss right now. There you go. But anyway, I'll take another day off and I'll go and paint. The kitchen is in particular needs to be painted and get rid of the big green wall and make it into a generic whitish one. Because people like generic colours these days. They don't like bright colours that we used to paint them 20 years ago. Goes in circles though. Holy Trucker 352, 3 or 4 did the same or different runs and schedules. I believe they're different. Andy Ladd said you had more door faults in one run than I've had in 6 months. Yeah, a few. And it is random, so I mean, it should happen. Definitely. A Holy Trucker says, I mean, blurry textures now because they are crap. But that's what I've been saying. That's what optimization means. It means take the crisp, visually attractive textures that we've got and make them crap. That's what optimization is. And in my view, when it's on the dash like this, it should be crisp. But if we, right when we stop, when you go out the back there, inside the carriages, there shouldn't be any stickers that are really crisp. Look at the exit sign, that's crisp. But the thing below it that means something, that's not. None of the stuff inside the carriages should be crisp because you never go in there and look at that crap. I mean, who really rides as a passenger? There'll be a few people who do, but not a lot. Whee! There's another one. Holy Trucker says closest thing to autopilot. It's close. You could go off and make a cup of tea, have a couple of sandwiches. Benjamin says that optimization is harsh, less visually attractive, like your ex. Mean. Very mean. Briefly be allowed to do 120 soon. Yay! Holy Trucker says it's going to look awful in VR. It will look like it does. Oh, it's forgotten. So we do 125 minus 5. Confirm. Let's get right on the thing. Confirm. There we go. And it starts accelerating. But we have to slow down again soon. So if I go back into here and I go -5. Confirm. It shouldn't decelerate. I should have to do that, I believe. Yeah, see, it's not slowing down. It's just sitting on that speed. So I'll have to come off the power and actually go onto the brakes. Go back on the brakes because it doesn't stay there. Get it down to the 115. There we go. And now it'll only go up to 115 this time. And then we have to set it for the 110. So we go -5. Confirm. It's hard to press the confirm button sometimes. There it goes. Ian says, perhaps expecting some payment for all the work. Well, yeah, they are. They want to get rid of 2 mortgages like I do. Holy Truckers thinks, I still think Birmingham Crewe, more than this route, love the high speed and the much slower sections. Andy says, everything's to me painted magnolia with maybe a feature wall in each room these days. That hasn't really caught on here. Vigilance of cruising to Crewe. Hello, Rails of Illinois. Welcome along. Uberk says there's no going back to your ex now. Benjamin says she's still living with me after more than 3 years. I can't get rid of her. Didn't know that bit of your story. Benjamin says this route 32.99. I believe so. Yes, it'll be that tomorrow. About 65 odd for the Aussies, somewhere around there, between 60 and 65. Chocky says, have you ever noticed that the Class 387 gangway door doesn't change in livery designer? Any coloured shapes you place on the train stick with the bodywork behind the door. It's interesting. Wilberforce said the 90 is typical ATS release. To be honest, every release for TSC from ATS has been awful on release and takes about a year for them to patch the faults, which then breaks other things. That's a bummer. Is this the tunnel with the thing in the top? I haven't seen anything that looks obvious. Not seeing anything obvious. It's behaving like a tilt beast, even though it's not. Benjamin says, I have £20 of $M credit to put towards it. Ah, from your Xboxing. It's interesting when you leave the train and come back, it's on 0 miles an hour, whereas before it was actually holding what it was set to. 100 plus plus. Confirm. Let's see if I can experience the issue of getting back in there again. Yeah, see, sometimes it's hard to click there. You've got to get on the right spot. It's just above the H. There we go. Got it. It can be quite hard when the train's moving. Be easier if you've got the digital zoom turned on, but I don't like that. So I'd rather keep it this way. Wilberforce said, I bought every TSC product from ATS for context. So you've had the experience with it then. Do you buy them about a year after they come out? Holy Trucker says, wife just said I'm allowed to buy the Just Trains Route 2 next week. Thought I was pushing it buying 2 premium cost routes so close together. Ah, you're a lucky lad. But what you should be asking yourself, Holy Trucker, is what does she want from you? Yes, the timing of Andy's idea that I should get myself a driver experience happened to be coincidental with Wench buying herself a new coffee machine. $100 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5. Go. Go. The confirm button, the place to push it is roughly about where the R and the M are. And when you're trying to get in here, it's just above the H is the hotspot. So the hotspots for both of those could be made a lot bigger, I think. Usually day 1, Wilberforce. That's a dedicated, loyal fan. Driven 80 miles. Yep, you can tell I haven't actually done that much. I haven't even done a full-length run in this thing. Actually, yes, I have. I should have more than 80 miles. I have done a full-length run in this thing. Oh well. Adds up well then. Uberk says, my thought exactly, she's saving up for a favour. Or she's already got something in mind. Ian says 3 times as much for the missus at least. It's like when I used to buy model railway stuff. I'd come back and go, here, look at this engine I got. Here's something for you. Or camera equipment. That was very similar. Not that I use any of my camera equipment anymore. It's been a while. -5. Confirm. But I'll have to slow down to do that myself. And back on the juice. Now it'll just sit on 111. No, there it goes. Is this tunnel with the one with the thing on top? Ah, trapped me in the train. It dragged me back in. I thought we didn't do that anymore. I'm not seeing any circle of light anywhere though. Oh, no, there it is. So we'll need to go outside, won't we? Looks like there's 2 of them. Where are we on the map? Oh, yeah. Where are they? I don't see anything. Oh, what's this? There we go. Yee. How about that? You can get in here. Are there any collectibles in here? Yes, there are. Look. And there's the other one up the other end too. The train's probably spattered by now. Oh, we're out of the world, but there is another one. So there are 2 of them. Do you think my train's looking after itself adequately? I can't get in there. No, can't get in there. Back we go. Just in time. Chucky reckons they can do 140, but they're not allowed to. That's because they can't tilt. Wilberforce haven't bought the TSW stuff. Holly Trucker says, I keep telling her wife this is the last one I'm buying. Promise. Does she believe you? Mine doesn't believe me anymore when I say things like that. And he goes, just for context, I mentioned I was thinking of going to GCR to do a driver experience, so it sent Paul off looking himself from Innocent. Oh, it's actually a really good one. The GCR's driver experiences look really good, but they're sold out, unfortunately. The thing I like the most about the GCR one is it would have made an awesome meetup for the channel, because you can take 10 people with you. How good would that have been? You could just put out a lottery thing for people to say that they were going to join in, meet up at the station, and they come out for a ride. Tones for the rail fans, as you do. Chocky says, look at the awesome route I just purchased. Oh yeah, and I got you some flowers. You better make it 65 bucks worth of flowers, mate. Do you know your average driver experience is about half the price of a women's haircut with a colour? Just saying. Ooh, we're only meant to be doing 100. It's fine. 115 now, it's all good. It's fine. We'll pretend it's okay. -5, -5. Go. 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 Oh, we got it. Just before I zoomed, I got it. Holy Trucker says, now wife knows I ditched the German stuff and US freight. Now UK stuff comes out quite sparsely except for this week. Murphy's Law, though. So yes, you'll have quite a bit to do. Andy says, I wonder if there's a spawn point on the map then so you can easily get to those tunnels to get to the collectibles. We can have a look. I didn't see a fast travel point when we went out to the map then. What time is it? 10 to 10. No wonder I'm starting to get tired. That's alright. My body's stupid. It wakes up at about 5:30 in the morning no matter what. It just goes, nah, we're awake now. Okay, great. Chucky says, I guess you can justify a second driver experience then. Well, actually, I would make the channel pay for that one, if I could do that, because, you know, a channel meetup. We'll just ignore the 110. It's fine. It's like nothing ever happened. $65 million miles to Crewe. We'll be here for a while. 10 to 12 here, Holy Trucker. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, definitely would be. It's the benefit of being in Australia's eastern states, otherwise known as New Zealand. Always depends how the economy's going, though. I think at the moment you're better off here, but sometimes you're better off in New Zealand, in which case I say that we are New Zealand's western states. Shortly we won't be speeding. And then we're up to 125 again. Serious bridge, that one. 125. I won't confirm it just yet. And right about now. Confirm. There we go. All right, Spanky, let's pull its tail. Uberk says, speaking of tired, going to nap now, had to get up early for the tool guy. Well, enjoy your sleep, mate. Have a good one. Thank you for coming in. Holy Trucker says we have tsunami warning tonight, mandatory evacuations, 10 metre swells expected. That's not good. It's a good thing about living on a bay. Tsunamis aren't that likely. It would also have to come up 54 metres to get to my house. That's a lot. That would be a very big wave. $60 miles to Crewe. I haven't done a Pendo run on this route yet, but it would seem necessary. Just turning up my heating. Since after this run I'll be going to bed as well. So in about 3 years. We're due in there in 44 minutes though, so we'll see how we go. We haven't been going too fast much. 100 plus. Go. Look at me behaving myself. Isn't that weird? 59 miles, average 24 to 30 minutes. We'll see how we go. We shall see. Andy said, I imagine a Pendo run is basically set to 125 and go and nap for an hour. Yeah, pretty much. Except for that red signal that you weren't expecting right in the middle of the route somewhere. You come back and there's this bad. Reminds me, I wanted to have a chat with Matt. I actually thought of a different way to run the timetables. One that would mean that the trains don't have to exist before you can see them. I know they're not drawn now, but they exist in memory because they run the simulation for the whole time that you're active. I was actually thinking it probably wouldn't be that hard to work out the timetable where you should be for every minute. And then you could work out which trains, based on the timetable markers, are supposed to be in your 2 kilometre part of the Unreal universe. And then you only have to calculate those ones. I think it would use a lot less memory and allow bigger timetables. I need to do some proof of concept stuff. And then I'll show him and he'll go, no, we've thought of that before. It won't work because of... but I'll do it anyway. It's fun. Oh, we've got a 90 coming up. -5, -5, -5, -5. Vigilance. Confirm, no. Confirm, there we go, gotcha. Not that I know why I bothered setting the cruise control for 90. Because we're not going to be doing 90 very long. Ninety. $90 for the corner and through the station, out the other side. The R and F keys work, by the way, for setting the speed as well. You don't have to use the screen. TSW finds the word extra offensive, apparently, says Jockey. Interesting. Wonder why. And this sounds like a feasible way of doing the timetable. To be honest with you, would certainly help out consoles, I'd imagine. I think it would. So I think it's worth giving it a try. So I might try and coax one of Matt's magic timetable spreadsheets out of him, which has got the train data in it. It's not worth going up to 115 for that short time. Let's see if we picked up any snow on the outside. Nah! Nah, a sausage. So it's got the wrong glass texture. It's got inside glass instead of outside glass. Oh, excuse me. It's been a very long day. So if I seem a little unenthusiastic, it's not because I dislike the route, it's just because I'm tired. That and the really long runs are not something I generally play. There's a lot of water in it. It's a bit of a jump in the sound happening periodically there. I'm not quite sure I like that. .45 to Crewe. Weirdly enough, it doesn't feel this long when you ride the train. And he says to Chocky, is it extra or is it something in this extra? So it's picking up the middle part. Ah, you're thinking it's picking up sex. That would be possible. Nightbot's finally decided to talk to us. It's been a while. And he says, is it being caused by the microstarters? It probably is. For those who aren't aware, Train Sim World operates in a 2-kilometre square. And that square has to move. Every time you get near the edge of a square, it loads in the next one and shifts the world base. And while it's shifting the world base, the game effectively pauses. So if you've got a reasonably fast computer, you don't notice it too much, but if you've got a bit of a potato, you will have a significant delay when that happens. Now we have a TSR. Someone asked about TSRs before. We have got one. We'd know about that from a notice, of course. So we could be ready in advance for the TSR. Chalky said, yeah, the previous word did end with an S, but then there was a dash and 2 spaces between those. Holy Trucker says, no Train Sim World visitors tonight. They don't always come in the first stream. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. When they don't, it always makes me wonder, have I gone a day early? But I don't think so. I think this is the right day. I hope. YouTube just popped up and said, now would be a good time to insert ads. No. You can bugger off, YouTube. I don't want to insert ads. I want to keep driving to Crewe. Andy says probably busy getting ready for their stream later. It could be. Has the roadmap article come out yet? Debate, do I make the video before work? Actually, let me go to work tomorrow. I've got to take that off again. But do I make the video before that, or do I make the video tonight before I go to bed? It takes a while though. The roadmaps are big. It takes about 45-50 minutes to read it. Joe's doing it too. Yay! Last roadmap, I got about 90% of the way through the thing and I glanced over at OBS and I noticed the big blue light that wasn't there. I went, I'm not recording. I've just talked for 40 minutes and not actually recorded it. So I pushed the button, went back to the start and did it again. Yay. And he's not seen anything yet for the roadmap. Well, I imagine if they're actually streaming it tonight, it should come out later today, I would think. 125 minus go. The roadmaps usually come out at about 2 or 3 a.m. for me. Holy Trucker says, love your roadmap videos, can't be bothered watching the stream or reading the huge article. Now, that's why I do it. Because, you know, I'd read it anyway. It's not really much extra effort when I bother to record it. It's not much extra effort to read it out than if I was just reading it for myself. So I generally don't watch the full roadmap streams. And he says, that would suck doing all that and then finding out you haven't hit record. Yes, a lot. A lot. And then you have to try and... why am I getting AWS warnings? There's nothing with signals. Interesting. 1 phantom? 2 phantoms. There is that other one going back the other way that I'll report too, because that one was incorrect. So I shall add those two to the report. And on the occasion when you've gone through an article and you haven't pressed record and you realise that late in the piece, you then have to be mindful of what you're saying, because you need to be grumpy. Andy says, I don't watch the DTG stream either, normally just glance through the article and then watch your video. Yeah, cool. The only time I'll usually deliberately get on for a roadmap stream is if I know in advance about something contentious. I get on and help with the moderation. But lately they've had at least 4 moderators on all the time, and Candace helps as well. I thought I saw... Oh no, maybe not. I thought I saw something floating. But I don't think so. No. Well, I heard a sheep though. A low resolution sheep. Yeah, we've got a 110 coming up. Confirm. Stay in mid-break. That's better. "34 miles to Crewe." Can't you just imagine the driver sitting back with his feet up on the desk? His little cruise control thing happening. Maybe he could be like an ex-driver I'm aware of, where the driver told the fireman to drive the train, told the engine cleaner to fire the train, and he went back and spent some time in a carriage with a lady. He did get in a little bit of trouble, that one. A little bit. Thinking of railway stories, I am kicking off the Right Way, Wrong Way, Right Way podcast. Sorry, Right Way, Wrong Way, Railway podcast again. So it'll be having its 2nd season. I've decided to do 6 episodes per season because doing one every month just got too hard. So I'm only going to do 6. And we're doing a bit of a late start to this year. The first episode, I'm going to interview myself, or I'll get someone to interview me, we'll see. So if there's any questions that you want to know about working on railways, volunteering, that sort of thing, if there's something that's been bugging you about steam engines, let me know so I can include that in the podcast, either via the Discord or you can chuck it on a YouTube comment somewhere. I'll find it. And I am looking for railway people with railway experience for further episodes, just to talk about railway life in general. We don't need to talk about any particular railway because most railways don't like you doing that. But if you've got some old stories, that would be even better. I'm guessing that's Hartfang. Is it normal for the snow spray to flicker when trains pass? You mean this stuff? In real life, no. The reason it happens with the trains is it's bleed from the lights inside the train coming through the wall. Must be one of those moments people look up from their phones and go, why are we slowing down? Track change. Over we go. I don't know if you've noticed, but it takes a few clicks to get the confirm button to work. And it's not particularly perceptible when it does work. So it's a little bit hard to see. So I think any of our low-sighted friends, might have challenges with that. Let's see what the super optimized lines look like with snow on them. They look like super optimized lines with snow. Look at that. Everybody be showing off that bridge. Going, hey, look at this. Heartfang says, oh, it's the lights. Okay, I was concerned there was something wrong with my sim when I first noticed it and I could find no info on it, so I reinstalled like 5 times. Well, there is something wrong with your sim. It's a bug. But no, not something you need to fix. So, sad that you had to go and reinstall it like that. If you've got questions like that inside streams, absolutely welcome to ask them. If you've got questions outside streams, feel free to comment on a video that's vaguely relevant and I will help you out. If I know. I don't always know. Benjamin says, seriously, what kind of strip of fabric for in case you brake too harshly and smack your head on the dashboard? Oh, yeah. It's probably to put your feet on. Be like the old BMX bikes. Do you remember them? They had the soft padded bar across the front. And they were probably thinking it was your face that was going to hit that bar, but no. It was never your face when you were going over the jumps to hit that bar. It was always your testicles. Always. Usually, as you'd go over, the handlebars would go and smack. That's just how life worked. Bing. Or it's just to look cool. Also possible. Now I know what that one's for magnets for. It's for the speed zone. No, we're missing a gratuitous bridge shot. Well, kind of see it. Heartfang says, not the BMX bikes. The nail in the coffin for me was when I went over and the padded handles hit me in the chest and broke 4 ribs. Ouch. That hurt. And you can't put ribs in plaster, you just have to put up with them. Been there, done that. Round the corner. It's good to see some thick power lines. That's what we need, thick power lines. 24 miles to Crewe, so we have done about 3/4 of the trip now. Bop. Little northern there. It's good to see as the brands have filled out in the game that we're seeing more and more of them. Just in time for them all to convert into GBR. Yep. They're all going to be the same again. Got the GBR Northern and GBR Southern. And Andy Led says, I'm wondering if the strip is there to cut down the glare on the windscreen and the plastic on top of the dash. Yeah, it could be. Just some fluffy stuff instead. Heartfang says, the BMX part being like 25 kilometres from the nearest ER didn't help either. No. I used to go mountain biking in a place called, well, the big park on Wellington Road. Listerfield Park. And I knocked myself out doing that once. I was riding with the people I usually rode with, and we used to do a lot of night rides, particularly in winter. And my lights started to give out, and you need serious lights to do night rides in mountain biking. You really need to know what's coming. And my lights started to go, and I said, I'll just ride back to the car park. And I took a wrong turn somewhere, because I was just going to meet them out there. And I took a wrong turn, and went into a creek and into a big hole, and yeah, they found me later. Mark thinks the route is too optimised. Maybe when you get a discount on sale. No, that's fair enough. I think we should get used to this optimisation though, really. -5. Confirm. Come on, press the button. There we go. We just passed a train, didn't we? We overtook someone and I wasn't even watching. Letting gravity slow us down for the 105. Yeah, the one place I think is worth using the memory is in the cab. Because this is where you are most of the time. The optimization outside, to be honest, I could care less. Doesn't worry me. It's like when you're watching a movie, your imagination fills in a lot of what's not there. But the in the cab, it's right there in your face. Not as desirable. Heartfang says, the poor ER nurse that looked at me said, how did you get here? And I said, I rode my bike here, and her face went fully confused panic, and let's just say I was very popular that night. Well, you know, you got to do what you got to do, I guess. Good on you for being resilient and getting yourself into the hospital. That's not that common anymore. We just ate 10 miles up, just like that. Back up to 110. He said, one experience said, okay, no more BMX bikes. Holy Trucker says, I'm not impressed sadly either. The pantograph has dropped. Can we roll to Crewe? Ooh, AI Hooties. Since that is day one, so it looks like your graphics are on medium tonight. Well, they're definitely not. What would happen if I just took the power off and then did the pan up? Does that work? Can I power it out? See if it gets faster. No. Maybe you do really have to be stopped. Boring. How come it's making so much noise when it hasn't got a pantograph up? And it's gone back to 0 again. Can we roll 15 miles to Crewe? Probably not. Ah, well, I guess we'll just have to stop it. There is no emergency diesel jockey transport. This is an 807. No diesel at all. Actually, what I haven't done is tried the diesel button. That would be funny, wouldn't it? There's no diesel sounds. Nah, it's still got the electric light on. Look, it knows better. The fault has been fixed. So you press the electric button and the fault's fixed. Look at that. Can we power? Yes. You shouldn't be able to put a pantograph up when the train's moving. What are we supposed to be doing? 110. Go. How about that? There's a sneaky little workaround, jockey. Well done. Holy Trucker says, are you on the exact same stretch of track from Stafford to Crewe now as the same stretch from Birmingham Crewe? I think they changed a few things with it. It's got some better bridges, apparently, from what I remember from the stream. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Adam, hello. Coughs and sneezels to you as well. Chucky says, no, you can do at speed power swaps on AETs, including putting the pantograph up, because it should have one up now. Well, it should. Oh, there it is. It does. I was worried for a minute there. Heartfang 2 says, bring the train to a stop. Doesn't stop. Fault fixed. Amazing fix by the driver. Yeah, just press button and see what happens. Because in fact I caught one of those mid-changeover the other day as it dropped its panto going at speed and had its engine on already. Yeah, I knew you could go to diesel at speed. Actually, come to think of it, I did know you can go to electric at speed because I've done it. Excuse me. Working outside in the cold hasn't been that good. "11 miles to go." Andy said, I would have thought you could put the pant up, given it's a pain to have it stop and then put it back up on the main line. Well, these ones clearly you can. Heartfang says, I wish I could fix faults by just pushing one button at my work. Quite often the faults require me to push multiple buttons and wait for network to process my button presses. That sounds normal. I haven't tried this route at night time. I expect it'll be dead boring because you get lots and lots of dark and occasional light bit dark, light bit dark. You're not going to see much, I don't think. You can dream of the perfect world, Hartfang, why not? Crouching Tiger, Hidden Atom, usually I just press the power button twice. Holy Trucker says it could look this bad because it's developer's build. No. No, this build will be what's going live. This is what you will see tomorrow. Benjamin says, what other kinds of heavy optimization are there on this route then? There are less buildings. There are LODs that are relatively close to you. Popping's no worse. Signage on the stations, some of that's a bit blurry. Tends to be not particularly important signage. Six miles to Crewe. I should probably start paying attention again. It's time for a lozenge. My apple juice must have worn off. The throat elixir. Crouching Tiger Hidden Adam asks, is the consensus this needs a few more minutes in the oven? I think this is what we probably have to get used to. We said we wanted optimization to make it use less memory and less VRAM so it doesn't crash. That's what you get. But it does seem to work. Tony says, I'm loving how they've accurately modelled summer in Crewe with the snow. Well, I'm running in December. I did set the weather too. I set this to snow at the start of the run. Because I wanted to see what it looked like. And I had not done it yet. Three miles left. Is there anything else that people wanted to see tonight before we finish up after we get to Crewe? Mark said I went through the Just Trains manual for Preston Crewe and there may be at least one station missing, which I used to use regularly. The live stream will tell. Oh, you should ask. Get on to Just Trains and ask them. Andy, hello. Looks stupid with that much popping up at the sides. Oh, yeah, the tree popping, yes. Heartbang says, random fault idea. All services are replaced by rail replacement buses. One of the routes had that joke. She stopped sliding. Is this one of Holy Trucker's red lights or will it change? This is the question. There's a rail phoenix. Do like the rail phoenix. So we're there. Did we just get a yellow? I think we might have. We've got to cross a lot of tracks. We have just got a yellow. Off we go. Andy Ladd is worried they're going too far in the other direction in terms of optimization. It's going to make everything look poor. I suppose it's trying to find a happy medium. Yes, I think so. Oh, there's the other optimization. Empty sheds. Empty sheds. Empty yard. Except for one lonely rog. It's just sitting there keeping itself warm.
We are now approaching Crewe. Please mind the gap when leaving the train.
Mark B's turned off his alarm so he can ignore work. Fair enough. Whee! I didn't slow down. Naughty boy. Everyone in the back's gone. Where are we going? Oh, I thought we were going into a dead-end platform for a moment. I think that's a bit weird. Be an interesting place to arrive a train this long. Holy truck, can we see the trees pop to similar from a station, see if trees look that bad none of the season? We ran it in spring before, when we're doing the 350. So, yes, they will. And they will go pop, pop. Holy Trucker says the route looks pretty shitty, not going to lie, modders will save it. Yeah, well, that's the one thing about PC, isn't it? If you can afford the VRAM, you'll be able to load mods that change things. Ah, look, there's a model to collect. We'll go and get that. Hello, Pete. How are you? You're sort of turning up just in time to finish. We've just been running for about 4 hours. Holy Trucker says it looks like Crewe is closed. God damn it, your slipper has a hole in it, so everything in my right foot squeaks now. That's a weird thing. Yes, 50 miles over a 20 switch. Like you were upright, you were planning on arriving sideways. Well, you know, it would be smooth and optimized to arrive sideways because you just slide in. Near enough to max brake. The passenger door has become stuck. I don't care. I don't care at all about your passenger door. It can stay stuck. They can walk to the other end. It doesn't worry me.
And London Euston.
Yeah, look. How's that for timing? To forward preparation. No, I think I have to be in neutral, don't I? Forward preparation.
This is a safety
Oh, there we go. It's open now.
Due to today's wet weather, please take
It always
a
looks
shower whilst
weird.
on the station.
How do you tell you want to shut the door?
3.
You just press it again? Well, now I've broken it. Andy said, just had to end the stream as it started with a fault. Yep. Yep. I am alone on the station. A few trains in the station, just not many people. Hartfang, the next train to arrive in London Euston, will be shortly arriving in platforms 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, sideways, all over the place. Indeed. Indeed. Yes, there's not enough people. I agree. Anybody want to look at anything? If not, that'll be it. I think that'll be it for tonight. Lots and lots of other people through the day as they come into their time zones will preview this. So dive in, have a look, see what you think. I'll pass your comments back to TTG. But I haven't had any dramas with it exploding, this one, but just bear in mind I've just spent, what, 3 hours in this stream, 3.5 hours, and that means I've now played it for about 8 hours. So I haven't had a lot of time in this route. I just haven't had time this weekend. So, yeah, there we go. Oh, Holy Trucker's gone. This route sucks. Optimized to save on memory. But anyway, that's it for tonight, folks. I'm going to go to bed. I am a little bit buggered, having been up quite early and beat up Wiki on the house. And yes, there were days and days and days, and there's only more to come. Burger. Anyway, enjoy. We shall. See you later. Bye now. That button.